Good now, everyone. I hope this broadcast finds you well. Oh, my mic's actually working this time. Neat. It's always a bonus when that happens. Oh. My name is Artorius Winchester, Scholar of the Dreaming Glade. And welcome back to VTuber Cocktails. The streams where I try and bash together a bunch of cocktails based on different VTubers because, I think it's cool. And also I like drinking. But also I think it's cool, and you should drink responsibly, first and foremost, before we get into any of this. Little disclaimer, not that I think I make anything too silly on here, but, yeah, don't, like, throw back 5 or 6 of these and then, claim I'm responsible somehow, because I'm not. But yeah, welcome on in, everyone. Thank you so much for waiting. Sorry the stream is a little late starting. I had, well, you ever had that thing where you just sit down and you're about to start? Hold on, I'm doing hand motions here. We haven't even got the proper, camera on. Where is it? Yes, I've got it. There we are. Hello. We've got hand cam again. Oh. And some bottles which we shall be, dealing with in due course, but they can be a bit less front and center for now. But yes, hello. Hello. Oh. He has hands. Indeed, Morn. I do indeed have hands. Oh. But yeah, we've got good old Master Hand and Crazy Hand. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that toony. I'm not naming my own hands that. Oh, but yeah, I think we're in for a treat today. We've got some different things going on. We've got a take on a classic drink that I think makes it a lot more in tune with one of the VTubers we'll be making a drink for, and we'll be having a somewhat quintessentially British drink, which I think is quite nice, or at least inspired by quintessentially British things. So yes, but yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I guess we'll just hop straight into things, shall we? Before I start, actually, can everyone just confirm, is the audio levels all right? Do I sound like I'm, like, dipping in and out of things? I'm trying to keep my, like, my head, I guess. I was trying to say center of voice, that doesn't make any sense. But I'm trying to keep my head facing this way, because this is where my mic is. But my monitor to check chat and everything is literally 90 degrees that way. So I have to do this, and then try and talk into the mic. Audio is awesome source. Excellent. All right, that's we've got an awesome source from Pixel. I reckon that's good enough to proceed from then. So, making sure to keep talking into the mic, you buffoon. I really wish my monitor was, like, there. And by there, I mean, like, there. But it's like there, which isn't great when you've got a mic there, and you should be facing this way. And yeah, one day I'll get this setup figured out. One day, but that day is not today. For today, we've got this. So, cocktails, the 19th. We're on 19. Can you believe in, like, I think 5 more of these? So before the end of this year, I'll have done 24. Cocktail streams, which is, considering I do these normally once a month, that's 2 years worth of cocktail streams. That's kind of neat. Make the cocktails over your keyboard, coward. My keyboard is also off to that kind of like left space, just on the edge of a table. So if I spill something, you may still get that you're looking for. I'm not making them directly over, but it's a compromise. It's close enough that I am concerned. But yeah, I've been doing these for a long while. I need to make sure not to tab into the wrong thing. Oh, this doesn't have... No, it does have this. No, it doesn't have this. I just have to click through. Ah, naruhodo. Right. Okay, our first VTuber of the evening. Some of you may have guessed by the silhouette. I think I did see one correct guess in my Discord, where I posted this thumbnail to the stream early. We have one Miss Mint Fantôme, made Mint herself. Because, you know what, there's an obvious theming for that kind of a drink. I thought, that'll be both one that can be quite fun, and also, isn't, like, too hard to shuffle into a cocktail. So, ooh, hold on. The other thing I'm limited to down here, is I only have one monitor. Here we are. Why did mobile Twitch censor that for me? I'm small, but I'm not a baby. What? It censored coward? Or like something else? Huh? But Twitch, what are you on about? Alright. But But yeah, Miss Mint Fantôme. Let's bring out our 4 bars of doom, shall we? And they're not bars of doom at all. 2 years in, I still haven't got a good name for these things. But yeah, so on the bitter to sweet scale, we're of course going very sweet here. It's, you know, it's minty, it's Maid Cafe vibes. We are going to be having kind of like, you know, perhaps something that even reminds you a bit of like a somewhat of an alcoholic parfait. Kind of. It's not that fancy, but it's in that kind of ballpark. On the weak to strong scale, I would say... I mean, honestly, I think we're probably a bit weaker than this, but I would say surprisingly strong. There's not actually that much alcohol in it, but by volume, it's quite a lot of alcohol, even if it doesn't taste like it. So I put it kind of like mid-length, kind of the middle of the strength bar there, because it's like it's stronger than you think it is, without being, you know, blow your head off strong. On the simplicity scale, we're fairly simple. It's not the simplest drink I make, because there's a little bit of presentation there, which braver people than me can maybe experiment with. I'm going with the very basic version. But, well, again, we'll see that when we come to it. And, yeah, definitely a cold drink. Not breaking that streak with this drink, at least. And let me go chat. There we go. Quick question. What is the strongest alcohol you've drank? Good question, Zethis. In fact, let me bring back my hand cam a second. I will fetch the bottle. Just give me 1 second, because it's around here somewhere. Where is it? Got the blighter. So... the strongest thing I own is... we're not going to be using it today, but the question was asked, so I'll field it. But the strongest thing I own is this thing. It's called Spiritus. Does anyone want to guess how strong it is, ABV? Can I see any guesses in chat for how strong we think Spiritus is, without Googling it? It is, yeah, Ghost of the Forest Spirit. It's Polish in origin, if anyone... that helps anyone. 93% 4. I don't know alcohol. So 4's less than, like, some beers. But it's a good guess. I appreciate the guess. 93%. No, try 95, Zethus. This is 95% ABV. Now, obviously, you'd never have something that strong neat. You mix it into things. But I do make a couple of drinks that mix it in with, like, some blue curacao, lemonade, some other stuff. And people are like, oh, this tastes really nice. And then I show them the bottle that's in this. And they're like, oh, God, I'm going to, like, explode. It's a great party trick. Particularly because there's, like, you know, there is some of this in that. But not enough that, like, unless you drink 3 of them, it's going to really cause anything. But, the strongest I've had is 89.9% had an 8 centiliter shot of it. It hurt. Yeah, that'll do that. That will burn. I assume it's like, I don't know, maybe some kind of tiki fire or something? No, tiki fire's like 75, not 89. Oh, it was absinthe. Ah, okay. I have also got a bottle of absinthe, but it's kind of like a 60%er rather than like a 90. Good stuff, though, absinthe. I love that kind of like aniseedy, like licorice vibe it has. So, back to Miss Mint after that slight detour. It didn't have a taste. At that strength, also, to be fair, 89% ABV. That other 10% is also going to work pretty hard. It felt like death going down. And this is why we need to be careful when we're drinking particularly stronger spirits. But yeah, 8 centiliter shot of that, not advisable. As someone who feels like they kind of know their way around booze at this point. Only kind of, though. Don't tell anyone who actually knows. Otherwise, I'd be in big trouble. Oh. Where are we? Oh, yes, the bars. So, we're looking for a sweet drink of, like, slightly stronger than you'd think. Simple in theory, but you can make it a lot more complicated if you want. And again, I'll get to that, because it's like, why would you want to make it more complicated? It'll make sense. And we're looking for a cold drink. So, the main ingredient for this one, unsurprisingly, is mint. Because if I made a mint Fantôme drink and it didn't contain mint, I'd kind of question what's wrong with me. That seems like a very easy kind of like tick box to check here for relatability to our VTuber. I also wanted to try and evoke a kind of maid cafe feeling. So I tried something different with the construction and presentation of the drink. And this is where that complexity comes in, because realistically, we're looking at like a 3-ingredient drink here that's based off of a quite well-known one. But I'm adding some extra kind of flair to it that I think really kind of elevates it in terms of presentation. So, may I now present to you, ladies and gentlemen, and forgive me for the terrible pun for this name, but it's not the first time we're going to see a terrible pun in a drink's name tonight. Now presenting the Moe Moe Booze. Moe Moe Boo is in the drink name, and like booze is right there. Look, I don't care what anyone says. I'm kind of proud of that one. Oh. But yeah, the Moe Moe Booze. So, let's get on to making the damn thing, shall we? So I will put us into camera mode, and we are off. So the first thing we're going to want here is an ounce and a half of mint liqueur. That's where this Get 27 comes in, which is a French mint liqueur. It is normally like lethally strong stuff. I've tried to put it in several drinks I do, and yeah, to some success. It's like very often it overpowers things, but I think in this it works really well as kind of like the main style drink. It's like, yeah, mint is the main flavor, but it's meant to be. So let's get an ounce and a half of that going, shall we? Ooh. So we're gonna pull out our handy dandy shakers and our jigger here. Try and see. I'll pour it into here where it's on camera, and we'll worry about that one later. I forgot the other thing about Get 27 is that at least the lid for mine welds itself shut. So you've got to be kind of very careful with that. So here we go. An ounce and a half of Get 27. There's 1 ounce. And here is a half. There we go. Thinking about it, I should really keep some kitchen roll or something nearby so I can mop up any spillages, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I forgot how I did this last time. Also, was that on camera? I hope that was on camera. It probably should have been. Yeah, I can't see why it wouldn't be. Right, so that's our Get 27. Our next ingredient, to kind of continue the theme of flavors that go well with mint, we've got some creme de cacao here. Specifically, this is a clear creme de cacao. Also another French liqueur from Gifford, who do a bunch of this kind of stuff. They do all sorts. But yeah, so it's a clear kind of chocolate liqueur, which is great because it means it's going to give us the chocolate flavor without messing up the color and making everything like brown and not green. So that's why that was in there. It was, thanks Tiny Sorcerer. So I am trying to look at chat as much as I can. Do just shout and scream if something is like horribly amiss. I can't see what would be, mind you, but you never know with these things. Okay. So, next up, an ounce and a half of this. There we go. And there we go. Lovely stuff. I'm kind of getting it everywhere, but fine. It's not like this table gets really, really peeved, shall we say, if you get liquid on it. So I'm having to very much clean up as I go along here. Oh, yep, that's already marked. Shit. Well, it's fine. You might say, Artie, why are you doing it on this table then? Get a different table. And I would be like, dear viewer, what other table? Oh, this is like the best one I have for this. Okay. I think we're through most of the liquidy stuff through this. Not all, because we have one final like, final air quotes ingredient. And that is half an ounce of... sorry, I'm not sure if you heard that. Half an ounce of double cream. That's right. Oops, I punched the mic. +1 to the punched mic counter. So we're going to get half an ounce of this in here, which is going to really do something magical. Once we shake it up, it's going to give this uber, like, smooth consistency. There we go. And we'll try and get it like a fairly weighty half an ounce. So something like that, I reckon. Get that in there. Oh, and some of it splashed out. It's fine. Right, I'm gonna go get some ice to shake this, and then also some kitchen roll. I think it's probably gonna be a good idea at this stage. Be back in just 1 second. Must clean. The board table becomes sticky. Oh, I know how I did this last time. Oh, I'm an idiot. Hold on, there's something else I need to get. Hey, genius, you had a mat. Why didn't you use that? Okay. Well, we've got the mat back now. Now we just need to get that ice. Yep. So, we've got our ice here. We don't need a huge amount of this, but I've got a fresh lot frozen anyway. So let's go and get a handful of these. This is super cool and creative, and I would not drink it. Can't do mint or cream. Oh, okay. Oh, that's unfortunate, Tiny Sorcerer. Huh. I was going to ask, actually, yeah, if it was like the mint or like it was just alcohol in general. Because I do get some people roll through here who don't like alcohol in general. And to be fair, I'm like, that's totally fair. You know, if people just want to see like the kind of the cool drinks, but they're like, yeah, but I couldn't actually like ingest this for, you know, whatever reason. I appreciate that, you know, that people are hanging around hearing me spin my bullshit anyway. Let me just go put this ice back in the freezer and then we'll get to shaking. Right, so our ice is in. It's probably not going to look like the most appetizing mix at the minute. Yep, pretty much not. But shaken, this thing will do some wonders. So, get it in here. And let's get shaken. Ugh. And while the ice is still big, I'll try and see if I can do some behind the mic shaking as well, so people can hear it. Oh my god, me shaking this is actually shaking the camera on my connected to my table. That's kind of insane. Ugh. My god. I don't know how I stopped that happening, but I guess whatever, I'll do a bit more front of camera shaking. A bit more behind. Ice is kind of melting down now. As my general rule drinks, you want to put a little bit of ice in just so that it forms this kind of seal. So, like, this isn't coming apart at all. Because there's a pressure seal on it to do with the temperature difference, physics stuff, ideal gas law, yada, yada, yada. But, yeah. So, you generally want to shake this until it sounds like all the ice is melted. And it sounds like there's still some clinking around in there at the minute. Not sure, again, how much of that is getting through. But we are indeed close. And I'm going to call that close enough to done. So we have our we should have our glass. Our glass is over there. God damn it. It's ideal gas law related. Interesting. In essence, yeah, because what you're doing is you're taking an enclosed container of gas and you're lowering the temperature, which means you have to raise the pressure as a consequence, which forms this kind of seal, because the pressure inside this seal and the pressure in the outside air is different. So I've got very little, as long as there's ice in here, I've got very little danger of these, you know, coming apart and painting my walls green. Which is nice. Not impossible to separate, obviously, because it's not that much colder in the grand scheme of physics, but... So, let's go see how that's turned out, shall we? Ooh, that's looking good. There we are. And in fact, why don't we pour this into here? There we go. Look at that beauty. However, but I'm not done yet, because remember when I said that this is a kind of a maid cafe style drink? I wanted to do something a bit fancier. And truth be told, if I made this up with another half an ounce of cream, it would actually be an existing drink called a grasshopper, which is lovely. I tried it while I was making this, but it's not a Mint Fantôme specific drink. So I think the way we get the Mint Fantômeness into this, aside from the mint link, obviously, is with presentation. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be doing something a bit different. What we're going to be doing is chucking some ice cream in that. Now, I don't know how this is going to go, quite frankly. But I have here a tub of ice cream. And I'm going to attempt to carefully get a scoop of this and place it in the center. I don't know how this is going to go. Are you going to serve this in a maid cafe accurate outfit? How do you know I'm not just sitting here in a maid costume? You don't. So, we're going to try and get a scoop of this. Oh, yes, and the fact that I, Ooh. That's, like, not a bad scoop. The fact that I definitely pulled this out the freezer beforehand has helped enormously. And I'm actually gonna... how best to guide this in is the question. I think you're gonna have to, excuse fingers me on this one a bit. Actually, no, hold on. I can use a knife. There we go. So let's turn this over. And then, ooh. There we go. It's in there. And as a final little accoutrement, no maid cafe parfait would be complete. Or parfait ice cream related dish without some stuff on top. Now, if you were brave, you could maybe like put some chocolate sauce in that. Hi Artie, which VTuber is this drink inspired by? That's a good question, Mimi, and it reminds me that I forgot to put it on screen. Hang on. I always do this. There we are, Mint Fantôme. So you were actually right with your guess. Roll into a ball like a snowball. Yeah, so, if you were brave, as I believe is where the train of thought I was on was, you could maybe, like, try and put a big scoop of ice cream in here and then, like, I don't know, use chocolate sauce to draw a ghost on it. I am not that artistically gifted. So, we're getting a few chocolate sprinkles on there. I'm gonna hope this looks alright. Hell yeah. Ooh, shit, that's a lot. That's a lot. Just a couple more. Yeah, that'll do. Ugh. Yeah, and the chocolate works with the mint and alcohol. Exactly, yeah. In fact, one of the greatest bits about this drink over a normal grasshopper is that I've obviously used vanilla ice cream for this. You could use any ice cream you wanted. If you wanted chocolate ice cream to get more of a chocolatey flavor in it, you can do that. If you really have a weird obsession with mint and you want mint ice cream in this, sure, I guess. If you want rum and raisin, that could work, maybe. Like, if you want to be, you know, some guy who doesn't like vanilla, or who likes vanilla but doesn't want to, like, act like he does and is too pretentious for it, Stracciatella. This is smart. The synergy is crazy. It's just simple ingredients that have gone together, but in a slightly different remixed form. I think, you know, obviously I can't take any credit for, you know, working out the flavors that come together here. But I like to think I can take some credit for putting them in a way that is kind of maid cafe-esque. And, you know, kind of works quite well here. And with that, let me move this off here. There we go. Move that off the... Oopsie, I punched the camera again. Oh, the camera's gonna do me for assault. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Because I changed over everything, I have... How do I take screenshots of this now? I don't know. Well, I don't want to press anything and mess up the camera setup, so I'm just going to work that out later. But yeah, this is a Moe Moe Booze. So let's give it a try, shall we? Being very careful with this, because it's one of those martini glasses that, Oh, my God. Okay. In hindsight, chocolate sauce I think would work way better than chocolate sprinkles. But I was a bit worried about my artistic ability being judged. Oh. That could have been quite funny, though, actually. If I tried to draw a ghost on this. But yeah. The balance between the mint and chocolate flavors of, like, the alcoholic things is... I mean, it's literally just 1-to-1, but it's amazing how spot-on 1-to-1 is for this particular drink. And then you have the cream kind of, like, coming into it. So that each, like, mouthful isn't too, like, overbearing even before the ice cream is really diffused into it. And you do get bits of the ice cream, because obviously while I've been sitting here yakking, it has been, kind of, you know, becoming part of the drink. And obviously it gives you options to do this, because you could take a spoon to the ice cream, you know, eat all that, have it, like, be like, you know, ice cream with mint sauce on, essentially, and then drink the rest of the cocktail. Or you could kind of drink the cocktail around the ice cream. It's a kind of do-it-your-way type thing, I guess. Ooh, Jesus. Lord help me, I've got the shakes, apparently. I will say the chocolate from the sprinkles does help kind of provide a nice, I guess, alternate chocolatey flavor, because the Gifford stuff is, like, quite, a liqueur chocolate type thing. Like, you know the type. It's like, well, yes, this is chocolate and alcohol, but it's, like, liqueur chocolate kind of esque, whereas the sprinkles are very much like a, you know, a kind of a good, honest, hard-working. This is chocolate as chocolate was, you know, as God intended. It's missing the best ingredient. Hi there, Flump. Are you going to suggest limes? Oh, look, it's lime colored. Can you let us off? It's kind of lime colored. It's green. It's, you know, in spirit, it is kin. I've got to stop drinking this, otherwise I'm actually going to drink all of it, and then we're going to have me singing on the second half of this show. But you can tell that is good, though, how fast I'm getting down it. Like, it doesn't look like a lot, but bearing in mind how wide this glass is... Lime, there he is. There's the lime boy himself. Oh. But yeah, I think, honestly... It's a kind of just a simple twist on a kind of an established drink, but I think it provides a lot of kind of like fun. It's part of that kind of made cafe energy. I think you can fit into there, which is very up like Mint Pantome Street. That actually does look nice though. It's very nice, yeah. I am, well, I mean, I finished these drinks off stream anyway, but I don't make drinks for this unless I would drink them myself. So I'm going to enjoy drinking this off stream. Right. Oh, well, that's one drink down. I am going to just quickly set up for the next one, put a few things back in the freezer, do some other stuff, shall we say. And I'll be back in just a few minutes. I might run like a minute of ads while I'm here as well, actually. But we do get to see our brand new Be Right Back screen, courtesy of Padparasha. So very much thanks to her for doing this for me. So we don't just have a shitty piece of paper anymore. We've got a proper BRB screen. So I'll be back in just a second. Don't change that dial. And we are back. Oop. Showing this a little earlier than anticipated, but yeah, I guess you can tell it's going to be in this class. But we are back. Thank you all very much for waiting for that short interval. As I say, sorry, I just had to get a few things ready. And speaking of getting a few things ready, actually, what I am going to do... No, I'll leave it. It's fine. I will simply ad-lib if need be. Let me get our little presentation back up here. And also this serving text out the way. And I'll remember to put it on as before I start making the drink this time. That'd be handy. There we are. Right. So, our next drink, and our next VTuber we're making a drink on, I should say. Or drink based on. I don't know why this is blue. Ignore it. Because the next person we're making a drink based on is Elias J. Dodger. A VTuber who I've been watching, like a little bit of in here and there recently when I can catch them. And, yeah, it's good fun stuff. Like, particularly, Little Dodger Tea Time's been a great kind of like, you know, just background vibes and that while I'm at work. It's been, you know, it's been quite nice. I appreciate the energy. And so I thought, why not make a drink for her? So, what is this drink for Elias gonna be like? On the kind of bitter to sweet scale, I've actually put it, like, slightly sweet, but, you'll probably come to see that one of the main features of this drink is cinnamon. And yes, cinnamon is sweet, like, technically, but I feel like when you spice things with cinnamon, it's like that weird borderline thing. Maybe that's just my flavor buds, to be fair, where it's like, yes, it's technically sweet, but, like, there's other flavors to it that I wouldn't necessarily call bitter, to be fair, but, you know, it's not just sugar. It's complex, okay? But look, point is, it leans slightly sweet. Strength. I think this one, again, is surprisingly strong. Has a bit more, I think it has a bit more actual booze in it this time, to its credit. But, yeah. I think this one's surprisingly strong, and I always feel like it hits me a lot harder for a reason we'll get onto in just a second. On the complexity scale, we're actually looking dead simple here. Bonus points if you are British. This drink is easier to make. Just saying now. And on the hot to cold scale, get ready, ladies and gentlemen. For once, Artorias Winchester... Oh, sorry, for the second time on this goddamn show, Artorias Winchester is not making a cold cocktail. We're going hot to go, baby. Oh, which, again, is, I think, one of the... Oh, I appreciate the outfit. Oh, yeah, her outfit's great. It's very good. She's like a I should probably explain it more. She's a like 1920s inspired like writer VTuber from old Blighty, same as yours truly. So yeah, helping out a fellow Brit here. But yeah, so let me go and there we are. I was looking for where my presentation was. But yes, we're making a hot drink. So this drink had to encapsulate two things. Being British and some vague 1920s kind of nostalgia. And I think I covered both. Granted, my idea of 1920s, like sort of the roaring 20s, I'm thinking kind of like, you know, the like Art Deco type thing, but maybe that was more of an American thing. But like, we're tying it in with something that's quintessentially British, so I'm giving myself a pass on it, quite frankly. So it's a delightfully spiced hot cocktail to stave off the ever awful, I should say, British weather, which, Lord knows, we definitely need something to stave that off. So, get ready for terrible pun number 2, by the way, because I mentioned that she was a writer VTuber. So, may I now present the writer's draft, because it's like drafts. You know, like the writers do, but I spelled it draft, like you do with alcohol and beer. Although, it's sort of a misnomer, because this cocktail doesn't contain any beer or anything of the sort, but like, look man, the pun was there and I like the drink. What do you want from me? Oh, you know, look, I have fun with this, and really that's all that matters. Hot cocktail, I was fully expecting cold. Yeah, well, to be fair, 99% of the time with these drinks you'd be right, but no, we're making a hot cocktail. And that leads me onto my first step of making this cocktail. If I can get to here. where we're going to say, you're not a heat-proof glass, so we're going to leave you well alone for a bit. But what we are going to do is get a Pyrex jug, and we're going to make a cuppa. Because of course we are. Well, a jugger, I guess, but you get the idea. We're making some tea. So I'm going to just add about, I don't know, like 250ml-ish to that. I realize I've forgotten my bar spoon. That's an oopsie on my part. Let me just go get my bar spoon. Ugh. There we go. Bar spoon acquired. Sorry for that. And we're just going to give it a little stir. Now, an important thing if you're using regular glassware to make drinks with, like, tea or other, you know, hot liquids. If you put scalding hot water into a glass, there is a not insignificant chance it can shatter. Even if it doesn't shatter, if you try and pick it up with your hands, you could burn yourself. So, always make sure that your hot liquid has had a little chance to cool. So it's why this is the very first step of this drink where we make our tea up. If anyone's wondering about the tea, by the way, this is literally just some, like, bog standard PG tips. I've heard that, an Earl Grey might work quite well here. Sort of the, Berger, I forget what the word is, but the kind of flavoring that begins with B that they use in that sort of stuff, might go pretty well with some of the other ingredients. But I'm just using some bog standard beachy tips because, goddammit, this is a British drink, and we're going to just do some bog standard stuff with it. Oh. Right, I'll put that over. Oh my god, this is such a mess. My side table is such a mess. Where do I put this? You know what? You're going back here. And you are going over here. I'm fast running out of surfaces. And we're just gonna leave you aside for a second. What would be your cocktail? It's an interesting question, actually, Zethus. Because it's how do you narrow something like that down? I think the whole, like, element of the Dreaming Glade would probably suggest a somewhat high ABV. But you also need to have this kind of weird disconnect where you have to be sort of grounded in, you know, scholarism and, you know, kind of maybe off of classical techniques like that, but also do something completely batshit to do, like, the dreaming stuff. It's not one I particularly considered. I know my favorite cocktail, my favorite one that I've made ever, I think, is if you look up, I've mentioned him on the show before, but if you look up Soul Bomb, who's a Korean creator on YouTube, he has done a full, like, IRL collection of every cocktail from the game Valhalla, which is the soundtrack you're listening to at the minute, which is kind of how I got into the whole, you know, mixing drinks thing. I played this like 3 or 4 times over the pandemic, and I was like, yep, I'm doing that now. So yeah, I kind of did that, and then I started, you know, doing drinks, turned it to streaming, rest is history there. But my favorite drink I've ever made would be his version of the Piano Woman, which is a kind of a twist on a Korean cocktail called an Eastern Sea, and it is sublime. It is, like, I could drink, like, 10 of those, no problem. It's so good. But yeah, I mean, a little recommendation, I guess, for everyone there as well. But back to the drink at hand, because there's business to be done, don't you know? We have... So... You may also notice I haven't, well, maybe you won't notice I haven't washed out my shakers, but I'm not going to use shakers for this. This is a stirred drink. And it starts with 1.5 ounces of spiced rum. Now, for me personally, I've got this Bacardi spiced rum, and if we look at the side, it says, made with a secret blend of Blarney mellow, Bacardi blend, words. Made with a secret Bacardi blend of mellow vanilla flavors, natural nutmeg and cinnamon spices for a bold yet smooth finish. Now, truth be told, like, you could, if you wanted, pick a rum you really like and then spice it yourself with, like, some vanilla and, you know, nutmeg and cinnamon and stuff. However, I'm lazy, so I'm just going to use the spiced rum. And also, it's probably easier for most people to get rather than having to learn how to, like, spice your own rum. Not that that's a really, like, hard process. And if you're really into your drinks, you know, it is very rewarding to make your own spiced rum. But, yeah. As for now, I've got some Bacardi spiced rum, and we're going to want 1.5 ounces of that. I will do my best to try not to spill it everywhere. Ooh. There we are. 1.5 ounces. There we go. The next thing we want is something we only want a little bit of here. Because you may have noticed, obviously on our bottle here, it says vanilla, which we're obviously getting a fair bit of. Hello, focus. Thank you. Vanilla, natural nutmeg, and cinnamon. That's not enough cinnamon for me. So we're going to have something that I think is kind of leaning more into the 1920s style of thing. We are going to have some Goldschlager, which, if those of you don't know what Goldschlager is, it is a cinnamon schnapps. It's like a cinnamon liqueur. It's famous for the fact that you see those little flakes at the bottom? Those are actual gold. So there's actual gold flakes at the bottom of Goldschlager, which is a neat little kind of like party trick. The other thing that you should know about Goldschlager is that it is fucking lethally strong, not in ABV, but in flavor. If you add too much of this to a drink, it will be like you're doing the cinnamon challenge. It can overpower things very quickly. Oh, and the lid can also get stuck on, apparently. Jesus, there we go. So, let me get a sniff, actually. Ooh, yep. Whee! That is very strong stuff. So, we're going to want to be very reserved with the amount of this we use. So, I'm going to say a scant, honestly, 1/4 ounce. So, half of this 1/2 ounce here. And there. That's really all we need. I wouldn't do any more than that. I'd maybe even do a little bit less, but we'll go for it. So there is a 1/4 ounce of Goldschlager. Artie plus cinnamon equals Mario. Yippee! Oh. Wow! Damn. I knew my VAing career would take off. I've just got to, I don't know, convince Nintendo to hire me. I'd say as an off Mario, but Wario already exists, so, That's pretty good. Thank you, you know. I like to think my VAing is passable at times. I also just realized I put the spiced rum to the side. What am I doing? That doesn't go there. No wonder I'm running out of space. I'm putting things in the wrong place. There we go. So what's our next ingredient? Oh, yes. So our next ingredient is 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, but there's something I want to do before we do that, because you see, what I have here is a lemon. Dear God, there's more. No. Oops, I've also punched the camera. This drink is best served with a twist of lemon, and it's best you sort out your twist of lemon before you go slicing your lemon in half. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a peeler, and I'm just going to kind of slide it backwards and forwards slowly and try and take a bit of this lemon peel. Now, I'm not the neatest at doing this, or the best, but, you know, we'll give it a go. There we are. It's coming along all right so far. It's not looking too bad. Yeah. And there we are. Okay. So, we've got this big strip of lemon peel now, which is quite nice. I am actually pretty proud of that one. However, this is very rough around the edges, shall we say. So we're going to take a moment to neaten it up. I've got a pair of scissors, and we're going to do some arts and crafts, wouldn't you know? We're going to just, like, snip this lemon peel up a bit. This is kind of an optional garnish, by the way, which is why I'm still counting the drink as fairly simple. but, you know, if you can go the extra mile for this, I think it is. And you don't flick your lemon peel into the drink itself, I think it's well worth it. So here we are. Let's neaten up our lemon peel here. There we are. And we'll give it some fancy ends. Like there and there. And there we have it. A good kind of lemon twist for later. And we'll maybe even put a couple of, like, grooves in it, shall we say. So, like there and there. So that it's got something to attach to the glass later. But that will come in later. Let me just clear this up. It contains a lemon. Oh. Well, it contains specifically half an ounce of lemon juice, which we'll get onto juicing right now, once I've cleared up this lemon peel. There we go. It's close enough to being clear for now. I'll do the proper cleaning job later. When I'm off stream, because no one came here to watch me clean my house. So, now that we've done that, let's go cut this lemon in half. I really hope that was on camera, by the way. I'll watch you clean random... try that again. I'll watch you clean random surfaces, and that's why you're a real one, Pixel. Hell yeah. So, let's cut our lemon in half. And it's time for everyone's favorite old friend and juicing device, the Mexican elbow. There we go. So, we're gonna try and... My depth perception is completely fucked while I'm doing this, by the way, so... I'm taking a bit of a guess here. Yeah, there we go. Now, the thing to be careful about here is that you don't want to press these lemons too hard, as I found out the other day, because you'll end up with a bunch of the actual, like, flesh. It's not the pith. It's the actual flesh of the lemon in the drink. And, truth be told, you don't want that. It kind of makes the texture real goofy. Like, the drink still tastes great, but, like, you know, it's like, it feels like this is a very avoidable casualty. Okay, almost half an ounce there. And I'm calling that half an ounce, ladies and gentlemen. Into the drink you go. Let me move this lemon aside. And my juicer. Okay. Right then. So... We do have a final ingredient, because what a good tea is complete. I mean, actually, no. I'm going to say this, and then a lot of people who are actually British are going to argue with me and be like, actually, like, putting sugar in your tea is fucking gross, and you're killing yourself faster. And I'm like, okay, sure. But look, for a cocktail drink, I think I can be forgiven for putting a bit of sugar in my drink, in my tea. So we're going to be taking 3 teaspoons of this lovely Demerara sugar. In this kind of cute little, like, mason jar thingy. Let's open her up. And let's chuck 3 teaspoons in there. So, there's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. So a fair bit of sugar in this, I'm not going to lie. Not how much sugar I'd normally put in my tea, even though if I'm a person who puts sugar in my tea. People who say sugar kills you probably are feeling the after effects of having your brain not get any glucose. I mean, you know what? That's from a biologist. I'll take that. I'm taking that as they're wrong and I'm right. Okay, let's move some of the collateral out the way here, shall we? Get all this junk out of the way until we're just left with this. There we go. So, how's that tea looking, Captain? We are looking cooler, I think. Yeah, I think that's about the right temperature now, actually. Miraculously. So, we're going to want 4 ounces of tea here. is going to be our next ingredient. So, again, using the jigger. Now, obviously, be careful if your tea is very hot and you're using a metal jigger. Again, you know, burn warning. Just be careful. There's one. There we are. Two. Please tell me I made enough tea for this. I should have. 3. And finally... 4. There we go. Lovely. So we're going to give all that a stir with our handy-dandy bar spoon. And we're going to be careful about tapping the edges with this, because again, I don't think it's hot enough to shatter the glass at this point. I've let it cool for quite a while, but... at the same time, you know, you can never be too careful. I don't want boiling liquid all over my keyboard and stuff. Or my legs, more importantly. I'm going to try this so badly. It's a really good drink, Sorcery. Yeah, like I've had it before. So, now, truth be told, you could stop there. And you could, you know, attach your little wedge of lemon. Something like this, maybe. Hello? There we go. And you could call that a drink. And that's a perfectly fine way to drink this drink. However, I'm going to go one step further. We haven't hit the Ritz of, like, the kind of roaring 20s yet. So I think there's one other little special ingredient we can add. But first off, let me move this out of the way. Yeah. I push you up there. Are you still gonna... Oh, you're gonna be super in shot. Fuck! Okay, how do I get you out of shot? There we go. You're there now. And you can be there. So, let me get a thing I can take for socials later. And that's how you can have the drink standard. But, we're gonna add one more thing. Some of you might be able to recognize this from the cocktail we made from Morgana. It's a similar sort of effect, and I try not to put it in every drink I make, but God, it looks so good in this one. We're going to add a little sprinkle of edible glitter, specifically red gold here. I've got these in, like, well, 4 different colors. I got them in, like, blue, purple, white, and, like, red gold. But yeah, you really don't need much of this stuff. So we're gonna lift it up and then just a little bit in here. Like, I'm thinking that'll do just fine. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna stir it again with our bar spoon. Maybe move the lemon out of the way. And we're gonna watch it sing and dance. Because if I've put the right amount of this in, and I give it a stir... There we go. Look at that. Ooh, you would if I wasn't blocking the light. Look at that. Ho, 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 ho. Where's my other... There it is. A swirling, like, golden... That's a party in a glass right there. Look at how beautiful that thing is. Get me another photo for socials for later. Oh. But yeah. Right. There's only one thing left to do then, and that's dig in. It's so good. Like, oh. Oh, it's so good. It's... You get this kind of, like, very sweet nose on the start of it. It's like kind of the lemon peel mixed with, you know, some of, like, the sugar and, like, the spiced rum, obviously giving you those kind of, like, vanilla notes. You definitely get a lot of the lemon juice kind of throughout it as well, which helps mediate a lot of the other flavors. Like, it stops the cinnamon from, you know, just taking over the drink and, like, coming to your house and killing you. That's definitely super nice. God, and the warmth as well means that the flavors have, like, so much more, like, room to expand. The tea itself is, like, definitely present there as well, though obviously it's taking a very background seat, being a much milder flavor compared to, like, cinnamon schnapps and spiced rum. Oh, I could drink, like... this is another drink I think I could drink several of. Just, in the winter, on a day off, just mix myself, like, 3 of these and be like, yep, that's it. I'm having a good day today. I've decided. Oh, I want this. I mean, to be fair, it's not also, like, the worst drink to, like, make. You only really need 2 alcoholic components, which is your spiced rum and your Goldschlager. Your Goldschlager you can get off Amazon for not that much. Like, it, you know, acts out like it's a fancy liqueur. It's not that bad. And, you know, spiced rum, which is whatever you can get your hands on that you like. And then, other than that, tea, a lemon, and some sugar. And that's really all you need to make, like, what I think is a very well-balanced drink. I'm going to give myself some credit for this one. This is very, very well-balanced. Goldschlager is probably German. I can find that. That's also true, actually, yeah. It's probably not going to be too hard for you to find, Bixel. Oh. But yeah. I've only made 2 hot drinks on this show. Both of the hot drinks I've made have been some of my favorite drinks. Like, absolute bangers. Like, there's this one and the Ovish tea I think I did for Autumn Fuchsia, like, way back when. 2 very different styles and flavors of hot drinks, but God, they are good. I need to make more hot drinks. Actually, did I make a hot... No, I did make a 3rd hot drink, actually. I just kind of omitted it from memory. I did one for, like, Lena that was, like, a Bloody Mary, but hot, and it kind of tasted like drinking bolognese. It was an experience. But, yeah. No, this is a Hall of Famer right here. Very proud of it. Ho, ho, ho. Right. Well. I've eaten bolognese on its own several times. Yeah, I guess, but it's very weird coming from a cocktail tasting perspective and kind of being used to those flavors and then just being hit with, like, hot bolognese in a glass. It's like, A family thing. We make it too much and then we eat it when we run out. It's a weird cocktail, yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's also based on a weird cocktail. Called, you know, obviously it's based on a Bloody Mary, which has tomato juice and then some other stuff in. Then I was just like, what if I just, like, heated it up and then called it a new, and then changed the recipe a bit and called it a new cocktail? And, yeah, bolognese. As it turns out. But, yeah, wow. I think I, for one, would like to retire to my chambers to finish these 2 delightful drinks. Oh. What if I heat up tomato every chef? This is so true, actually, yeah. Like, universal rule. Turn tomato into, like, absolute banger food in, like, almost every culture I can think of. Like, even by itself, you just slice it for a salad. You know, I know there are some people who don't like tomato, but, like, every other form of tomato, like bolognese ketchup and that, and they're weird for that one, but... yeah, even by itself, you know, makes a mean, you know, addition to a salad. But yeah, I think that is going to do us for tonight, though. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope the audio hasn't been too off with me having to turn around. I'm going to try and work out an alternate setup. I could, really. Enjoy your yummy sipper. Good drinks. Indeed. Thank you very much, Pixel. And I hope everyone else enjoyed. I'll be posting these in places. I'll be, and by places I mean probably my Discord and Blue Sky. I will put the recipes for the drinks in the down there bit. The description of the YouTube video. Your audio's been good. Thank you as well, Zethus. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. But yeah. Just realized I've now got Oh, we've got raiders? Oh. Oh, Tech! Hi there! Nice to see you! Oh, that's so nice of you. Also, I forgot to boot up streamer bots, so my things aren't working. Raiding with a party of 13. God damn. Oh, I was literally just about to end off stream, but I'll stick around and chat to you all for a bit. Hi there. How are you doing? How was your stream? What were you streaming? My stream has been crashing for 2 hours. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh. Well, yeah, I have been sitting here for the past, like, hour and a bit with my chat making VTuber cocktails. I made, in fact, I've still got it over here. The ice cream's melted a bit now, so it looks a bit different, but I've got a, wow, that really has melted a bit, yeah. But I've got this one that was like kind of a minty cocktail with a scoop of ice cream in and some other stuff on top that was called a Moe Moe Booze. And I've got this one for Elias J. Dodger, which is a writer's draft. So yeah, I'm now dual-wielding a cocktail with literally ice cream in it and a cocktail with hot tea in it. So this is going to be an interesting experience. But yeah. No, we've been having a bit of fun making that. Sorry to hear about your stream, Scuff, but thank you very much for raiding in. For those of you on TechSend who don't know me, good now to you, and I hope this finds you well. My name's Artorius Winchester, Scholar of the Dreaming Glade. And I make cocktails occasionally. I also stream fighting games and the occasional bits of like poker and mahjong and that, as well as some variety stuff on the side. It's very nice to have you all around. Oh. Good cocktails indeed, Pixel. I gotta say, this one in particular, very good cocktail, the writer's draft. I'll be putting the recipe of this, as I was just explaining to my chat, in the description of the YouTube video that'll be on my channel on YouTube as soon as the stream ends, essentially. I'll do some posts around as well, so people can find that video on Discord and Blue Sky, probably. And yeah, God, I'm just sitting here sipping cocktails and having a good time. He makes me want to buy cocktail stuff. Do it responsibly. Do it responsibly. Oh. But yeah, wow. Well, thank you very much for that, Tech. I apologize that my stream overlay isn't working. I did completely forget to boot up StreamerBot. So I think that one's on me. I'm going to try it, like, I guess next stream and just see if I can get a follow to go through without it shitting itself. Otherwise, I might just move over to, like, Stream Elements or something, because that seems to be old reliable for a lot of people. It'd be great if I could get Mixed Up, which is what I used to use working, but unfortunately, the Mixed Up doesn't work. Well, I've tried to get it to work on Linux and just no avail. I think everything is breaking at the moment. Yeah, possibly. That is very poetic, I guess, coming from your stream. But don't worry, I will have it fixed by the time my next stream starts. Your name will be there, because I can do it manually. I just... the automatic thing is kind of missing it. I recommend Lumia. I use them and they're a great bot. Oh, okay. Yeah, as long as they can do, like, you know, the kind of overlays that are to my, is that to my... To the left of me on the OBS screen. I'm not trying to work out if that's my right or left. I guess it would be my right, but I'm facing outwards from the screen. Whatever. They do everything. Oh, neat. Okay. Well, yeah, if they do this, I can certainly have a look then. Next question, do they work on Linux? Because I'm one of those people who uses Linux. My god, this drink's so good. I'm trying to drink a little bit of this before it goes cold. Even cold, to be fair, it's still pretty well flavor balanced. But the heat really does something for it. Like, I might make another one of these after stream, that's how much I like this. Normally, I've had 2 cocktails and I'm like, I'm good. But maybe this is the fabled cocktail 3 kind of evening. But yeah, I shall see. I shall drink the first 2 and I shall assess my limits. Right. Well, I suppose since we've been very generously given a raid in, we should probably find someone to raid into ourselves. Let's go see who's streaming, shall we? Thank you for the follow. Raka Blaze, thank you very much. And again, apologies that my overlay is broken. I'm fixing it. But yeah. Thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. Thank you for contributing to the effort to get me out of the Glade of Dreams. Oh. Anyway, I have noticed that a certain Mr. War Boss Crumper is doing some VGen commissions at the minute, so why don't we go say hello to him? Give him a bit of a boost there. So I'm going to raid into them. And as for everyone watching on the YouTube or VOD or wherever else, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you had an excellent time. I know I certainly did. I've been Artorius Winchester, and I'll see you all next time. Farewell!
Sorry, lines, and this is based on the request of the artists.